All right. Welcome back to the show. We are back with Disco Elysium. And unlike last time, I believe we actually will be investigating the body.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now. As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it. The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enamel boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow.
Whoa, what kind of boots are these?
They are armor, no boots. Technically speaking, these are sabatons.
Okay then, what kind of armor is this?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Where?
Under the hill. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
The material looks out of place here.
It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
How much are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
That's a lot. That's a lot, I take it.
As a wage, it's regrettably small. But for a piece of hardware, yes, that's a lot.
How could this man afford such expensive hardware?
That's for us to find out. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumptions.
Initial report?
Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
He's not actually sure of that. He's just being tactful.
These look pretty advanced for a security guard.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
Sounds fragile.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether. Like the scales of some ancient white monster, cracked and pearly. The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos and extremities blotched pink and blue. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch.
What kind of rope is this?
Industrial strength, the kind used for tying cargo to lorries.
Like in a circus, when the circus leaves town and they tie a black-spotted giraffe to the wall of a carry pen.
Like in a harbor?
Yes, it looks like they use whatever was on hand, paying no attention to not incriminating themselves.
We're assuming the dock workers from the harbor did it?
The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?
My past has undergone total annihilation. Nothing remains. My mother, the love of my life. Certainly not a briefing.
Okay, you should ask me for one the first moment we get.
They sure wanted him to stay up there. The polyester seems strong.
It's not merely polyester, it's steel reinforced. See these lines? This is where the wires run. I see rabbits for more than 20 strands. This makes getting him down much more problematic than I had assumed.
How did they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt, buckle closes. It's what I would do. Seems easier than climbing up there.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. His corpse is marked by stars, alcohol, and heartbreak.
Of no nation that I know of. If anything, it reminds me of religious illumination, last or penultimate century. Men who live harsh lives often turn to innocentic worship. But which one? I see no trace of a humanoid figure.
We're missing something here.
I agree.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears, some sort of camera.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
This is the first time he openly acknowledges the kid's existence.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
Cool machine.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
What do we need this for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter, to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess. Underneath the curdled meat there is an expression, not carried on his features, but below, inside, an expression of pleasure. This man was experiencing joy at the moment of his death.
This man enjoyed the moment of death.
Why do you think so?
It's an intuition.
Okay.
I'm gone.
Where have you gone?
Into the wild pale yonder.
Where is that?
In the past. Way out in the west.
I can see you're gone, but who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
There's nothing funny about you.
There is nothing funny about jokes either.
Who were you when you were alive?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
I have another question for you.
Go ahead, Cobo.
What is happening?
What do you mean?
I'm talking to you.
It's the power of your imagination.
Yeah, man! Don't be crazy! Inanimate objects and dead people can't really talk to you. Your wild imagination is doing this. Ask some more of those questions you love so much.
He loves those.
Why do I love questions so much?
Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Yeah, give me questions.
Here you go, you loony.
Is my name Rooney?
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
Rooney is obviously not who I am.
Between you and me, your name is probably Harry.
Could I really be Harry?
You can be anything you want, brother Corpo.
Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have.
Why were you feeling pleasure when you died?
Maybe I was getting my rocks off.
So, you were feeling sexual arousal when they were hanging you?
Do I look like an erotic auto-asphyxiation type to you?
No.
Captain Coppodromo, I fear we are drifting away, fixating on sexuality again. Let's go with a simpler question.
I hate you. You stink and you're boring.
Do I remind you of someone?
A baby affected but with harlequinism.
You sure wriggled out of that one, Coppolini. Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
How should I know why you are squinting, officer? Oh. You are trying to assess lividity.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins.
So, what do you think?
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he's saying?
Talking about shit.
Did we?
We got
I don't
lucky.
feel lucky.
I don't know what to think. What do you think?
I think he was upright immediately after death. Blood has gathered in his hands and feet. The noose acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis here is in tune with the hanging. That's what I think.
Could it still be he was moved after death?
There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
So how do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt. His tall...
Of course. You have questions. Come back later.
Yep, the preliminary
The
examination
steel
is
reinforced
done.
belt
Let's get
presents
him
a
down from
unique
there.
challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting it. Climb up there and saw the branch? There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How? Yes, the buckle, where it ties the cargo belt to the tree. If the shot hits that, then there might be a small chance to release the belt.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
The lieutenant is undecided. On one hand, he wants to shoot some gun. On the other, it's an awfully stupid idea. Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel. separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. He then steps back and assumes the Phallostes position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The trick voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke.
God damn it.
A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The Phallostes was the wrong choice. His shoulders are raised, but above all, he cannot trust his eyesight. He feels bad about his eyes mostly, just having bad eyesight, probably from a young age. Whatever you do, do not console him.
Fucking idiot! Mookaba asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
It's bad as it is, us shooting firearms like punks here. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't hit the victim.
They only have...
Oops.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Officer, why do we only have one gun? Extremely unfortunate. You need to contact your station about it as soon as possible.
We're not off to a good start. This missing gun business is...
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana pointer! Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth!
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger. You've held this, an A9 Armistice, before. At some point, it probably used to be your choice of firearm. It still feels comfortable, like you never laid it down.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth!
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, catching the morning light as the corpse slowly rotates. As you wait, your breathing slows down. Some mosquito-like organism buzzes in your peripheral.
Look, he's crying! You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
I hope I get this. I've never done this before.
Yeah!
The buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir. With your hand numb from the recoil, you look at the body slumped down. For a moment, the man appears to kneel in front of you, looking straight at you, helpless, trapped within itself.
Who killed you?
Communism.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from, only that it's right. Then the rigor in his muscles gives up, and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench.
You've been policed.
Ace is high.
The Ace is High, a custom invented by the aerostatic brigades during the revolution, is used to celebrate success in Revachol, especially in sports. The gesture is spread across the world, despite the defeat of the revolutionaries themselves. You could add an ace's low to it, if you like, by turning your back after the high and waiting for another. The high arrives with a sharp slap. As you turn around, there is a moment of doubt. Feels like that low ain't gonna connect. Chill, it's gonna connect. But then it does, and with furious precision. The lieutenant is not one to leave an ace's low hanging.
I knew these guys were
What now?
We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death. But before... Excuse me.
Slumped on the ground like that has not improved the way the corpse smells. The fall seems to have released something deep inside it.
It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the autopsy.
Alright.
In the meantime, we should try to interview Evrard Clare, the leader of the Union. Harbor property was clearly used in the hanging. The harbor just east of here. Getting in might prove a challenge, though. Or we could ask around for the representative of the logistics company. My initial information says the Wild Pines have sent some sort of strike negotiator to wrangle control back from Evrard.
You could ask the gardener for directions.
Let's go then. Alright, what do we got? So this is doing this, we know this. Yeah, this. Oh god. Instant photo of tats. Alright. We got some skill points to use. Open up my rhetoric. And reaction speed. Say perception. And now we're off to speak to Everard Clare. Actually, you know what? Oh shit, didn't mean to do that, but whatever. Let's go talk to this lady, he suggested it.
Hello again, officer. How
We
are
need
things?
directions.
Of course. Where to?
Do you know where I can find the representative for Wild Pines?
Wild Pines? You mean the company woman?
Yes, a representative of the harbor. She should have set up operations nearby.
Oh, that must be the woman on the giant boat. There's one docked on the pier. It arrived a couple of weeks ago. It's very hard to miss.
Thanks. That's all for now.
No problem.
She's very well composed. Back straight.
What do we got here?
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, alright?
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl. See? Your munching and complaining have ruined my concentration.
Could the objective of the game be to throw the metal ball so it lands by the wooden ball?
Ah, mon Dieu. The pain in my back is unbearable. I can't even say if it's in my back or hip anymore. Feels like it's in both.
I hope you pass out from it. You goddamn jellyfish. Men like you are the reason this nation is sinking.
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter, you'll make it work. The cold, already your muscles, a chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind.
Merde!
What? What? Why?
Have you no shame?
René,
I'm trying to. See? You're munching and complaining.
Could the objective...
ah, mon Dieu.
I hope you pass out from it. You goddamn jellyfish. Men like you are the reason this nation is sinking.
I learned the game, but then it didn't let me fucking play the game. Interesting.
A moment of your time, fellows.
You're such a wuss.
Sure, officer. I am René Arnaud. And my specially abled partner here is Gaston Martin. How can we help you?
Do you know anything about the man hanged in the backyard of Whirling in Rags?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely.
And most of the locals?
In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them?
But you don't have a problem with the cops.
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
So again, you don't know anything.
If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. I'm an old man, not a coward. The daily business of the riffraff no longer concerns me.
This is a man with a lot of past, but little present, and almost no future.
Thank you for your time.
I have really outdone myself. This is divine.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More padding on that fat arse of yours. I hope your heart gives out.
René, it's a little pleasures. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day?
Tell me, what do you know about the dead man?
Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really.
Come on, you must have heard something.
No, officers, I'm sorry. And I really would like to assist. You are both good guys. I can see that.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union. Someone must know something.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and respects that.
Respects?
Sounds a bit like you're holding back.
I'm not. I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of union prick he can't even speak properly.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard.
And who's this Everett you know?
Evrard Claire. Everyone in Martinez knows the Claire brothers. I taught these boys human studies and history in the gymnasium.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns to face the sea. The blind leading the blind doesn't even begin to describe it, is what he said.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Lest we leave riddled with bullet holes. This animosity is ancient.
Thanks. That's all for now.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
Bye for now.
Alright, I'm gonna have to cut it off here. Just realized I gotta go do something before I head to work. And, it's been a fun episode. So, see you.